Okay, listen here, guys. There are 5 plants that I've just fallen out of love with that I still have. And which one is it? I'm kind of shocked as well. I just had to be honest with myself. Because when you have a lot of plants and you love the majority of them, you have to like kind of think like, which ones have I ignored? Which ones have pushed out new leaves? And I've just not really cared. And so I'm going to show you a few plants that I have fallen out of love with. I'm still gonna keep them because who knows, I might change my mind. So let's start off with a beast, Monstera Aurea. I know, what am I saying? She's right behind me, right over here. So this was a top cutting that I wanted to put up a moss pole. And listen, she's growing great. She's pushed out a couple leaves. I didn't even, try to look at them. You can see kind of that she's facing the window. And so I've just kind of seen the back of her and I haven't really cared. Even with nutrient solution, I've just been adding nutrient solution to the bucket and not really taking her out. Was it the summer the last time I showed y'all? I think it might have been my moss pole plant chore, I think, video. But yeah, I just gotta move some plants because they're in the way. Wendlandia doing her thing. Golden bone. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay, so it's been like, I would say at least a couple months since I actually looked at this plant, like face on. I've seen the back of her, so I've seen all of this. So this is gonna be a moment that we share. Oh, whoa. I don't even know how it looks. Does it look cute? Oh, look at you. Wow. That's a nice piece of variegation down here. I mean, what do y'all think? Am I insane? I don't know. It's beautiful. Like, I love yellow variegation. I think I like the look of like a large leaf Monstera. And I don't know if y'all remember, but a year ago, I had the same kind of feeling with my Monstera albo. And I got rid of her a year ago. I don't regret it. I didn't like how it grew. I still like this one more than the albo. I was trying to ask myself, like, is it because the leaves don't have that much yellow? But I specifically picked this top cutting because I was scared of like all the crisping and the browning when this plant has a lot of yellow. And you can see that she really has minimal, I don't know, I'm so far from the camera. It has minimal crisping. And like, I don't know if I'm gonna change my mind. There is a brand new leaf here. And I'm like, okay, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm trying to ask myself like, I mean, that variegation's cute, I guess. The fenestrations are cute. And I mean, she's grown well. Like, look at this moss pole. And look at all the rootage. She is, I mean, this was the goal. This really was the goal, to get her to grow big in here. You can see that like these leaves are like crushed. Like, look at the edges. They're just crushed against the window. And yeah, I'm a little bit concerned because I didn't really expect the reservoir to be dry. I'm scared because like you shouldn't let your root system dry out completely, and like feeling the bucket, just because I'm familiar with this plant, it is incredibly light. So are we gonna take a look at the roots together? Are we gonna do it? Okay, they're not bad. Oh, they're actually okay. Oh gosh. Future Kevin, zoom in. I don't think I could move forward. There's some good roots. Okay, that's better than I thought. And there's some ends that are doing well also. Do you love how I'm just like holding it like this? Ooh, this is a workout. Ooh. I think one thing that might change my mind is, if she keeps pushing out like a touch more yellow, and if the leaves get bigger and there's more fenestrations. I know this is pretty good for a small leaf Monstera Aurea, but yeah, y'all know my love for my Thai. I love large leaf Monstera deliciosas. They're amazing. No, I don't know. It's just funny how like it is like a massive plant, but I'm able to like lift it like this. It's crazy. My plan is to keep this plant until she hits the ceiling. So she's on the floor right now. I might put it in a taller bucket. But yeah, that's kind of what I did with my Monstera albo. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let it like hit the ceiling and then I'm gonna see how I feel about it. And then I just got rid of it. So I'll see what happens with this one. This one does have much larger leaves than that one. I think I said that already. So yeah, wow. I actually am so surprised how light it is. Like it is so incredibly light. I'm gonna wait and see, but it's just kind of part of my collection. It's just here. And I've said before, I usually experiment propagating plants if I'm ever bored. I'm already, propagating my other Monstera Aurea, and I'm sharing that process on my Patreon. So I don't know, maybe that's why this specific Aurea I'm bored of. The first plant, Monstera Aurea. Do you see that pocket of space now that the Aurea is down here? It's actually weird seeing that much space. Okay, but let's put her back. Second plant is a philodendron. Surprise, surprise. I thought, like, once I saw a new leaf on this philodendron, I was gonna be like, oh, I love you now. And it's kind of a similar situation to the Aurea. The second plant that I'm kind of bored of is the Philodendron Joepii. Weird. This was like years ago. This was at the top of my wish list. It was one that I wanted so badly, and I'm surprised myself that I'm kind of like bored. And I mean, the new leaf looks like exactly what I want in a Joepii. And y'all know that she's had her hard times, and she's up here. Okay, I'm trying not to damage it. Oh yeah, and this is my first time seeing this. It's cute. I don't know. Maybe I just needed to grow more. So this is the new leaf. And this is the first time I'm like seeing it up close. This is actually exciting though. I didn't see this before, but I found that the moss pole kept drying out. That root right there. Stunning. And yeah, oldest leaf was the wonky one. Then we have the one after. And then we have this one, which is like moving into the more traditional Joepii kind of look. And I don't know. I feel so weird. I'm sure that a lot of people have bought plants that they really wanted, and then they get it, and then they might be disappointed. I don't know. I'm not disappointed. Like, this is cute, but it's just so interesting how things change, because she's a gorgeous leaf. She really is. Wow. I don't know. I love how also one of my New Year's resolutions was to get this mature. It's kind of just stayed like this. I'm not sure what she looks like before, but like this is her now. Remember when I had my 6'9", oh my god, I forgot the name already, 69686? Is that it? I loved that plant so much. And because I liked the look of the leaves, I was like, oh, I'm gonna love the Joepii. And it's fine. This is I mean, it's happy. It's doing its thing. It's hard because before I was like, I'm like having a hard time with it. I keep drying out the moss pole. It's not ruining the moss pole. Remember that situation where the leaves were rubbing against the metal and there was damage on the leaves? And now she's finally like the happiest she's ever been. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Listen, I think it's gonna change. I might be wanting like a more mature specimen. I think that might be it. So I'm still gonna keep it. I clearly haven't been ignoring it because the moss pole is like soaking wet right now. And you could see that there is a new root growing in the moss pole. But this is just my honest thoughts right now and how I'm feeling about it. So, second plant, Philodendron Joepii. Okay, another one. This one I might get rid of. Maybe I should try growing it up a moss pole. It is the Monstera Adansonii, the variegated one. I thought I would love this plant. I thought I would love this plant. Okay. It's okay, guys. It's funny because she's leaning up against the wall. And then obviously now that she's like not against the wall, she's like draped this way. It looks hilarious. She usually, like, I usually see her, and because the wall is on this side, she looks like this. For me, I haven't really experienced an easy time with having like good variegation. And I'm gonna stress this again, there's probably like 8 props in here. And I mean, none of them, except for this one, which I'm just seeing now. This one here is kind of the only one that I'm like, okay, we got something here. But everyone else, it's either fully white and then you get the crisping. Yeah, the next leaf is just fully, I mean, they're pretty, but it's just like, no. No, ma'am. Is the next leaf cream? No, see, and the next leaf is balanced, but I don't know, do people still like this plant? Do I need to grow it up a moss pole? Because my goal, I think, was to grow the propagations in one pot, see which one was variegated, because in the past I've had such a hard time with variegation, and then from there, put it on a moss pole and see what happens. Currently, right now, the only one that I'm comfortable with is the small one that I showed you. You get some that, see, this is another one. Predominantly green, you get a stripe here. I don't know, it's been a little annoying. Oh my god, I'm trying to like look at it from different angles to see if I'm okay with it. Anyhow, I do have to say that I'm just so happy that, you know, she ended up growing for me, because I did have a hard time with her initially when I had her in LECA. I think I was feeding her too much, so the leaves looked really deformed. And I found that when the root's in the reservoir, wow, she's dry. I find that when the root's in the reservoir, at least the variegated one, doesn't do well. I've had the regular green one, she's done just fine with the roots sitting in the reservoir. And I don't know if it's the specific like specimen that's not strong, I don't know. But I've had such a hard time, and I know she's grown, but it's like, I really don't want to be bored of these plants. I'm thinking like this fine, even though it's not that variegated. It looks pretty good. I might just put it on a pole separate to this and see what happens. And then maybe that small one. Like every single leaf, I mean, I think every single leaf looks like the variegation that I love in a variegated Adansonii. I don't like the half moon situations usually. I like when it's more marbled, so yeah, weird, eh? Okay, the variegated Monstera Adansonii. Okay, the last plant. I thought there were 5, I think there's only 4. The last plant is the Philodendron Joepii Buono. Listen here. It's a gorgeous plant, it really is. And trust and believe, I, for the longest time, was so obsessed with this plant. The journey that I've had with this plant, starting her in LECA with just 1 leaf, having her grow into the monster that she ended up being, propagating her, because obviously, you know me, like I love propagating. It's my favorite thing to do with plants. Experimenting with that, I hate propagating in aerated mixes or soil. Ugh, it's like the worst. Also propagated this in pond. That's where you saw, you know, those 2 big specimens. So I've grown this plant like pretty tall 3 times already. I still have a few because I am planning to gift one to one of my friends, Michael. Michael, I haven't forgotten you. They haven't been in a good state, and I don't want to give you like a dehydrated plant. So they're propagating moss. I still have 1 small one in pot. I'm debating if I should keep or not. Anyhow, I'll show you. So yeah, it's funny because like now the newest leaf on both of these, they've given out block variegation, which is, you know, what we all love to see with a Joepii Buono. They're dry, and like you can see too that they're so dry. But yeah, I've grown so many of these. And I think that's why. Like they're gorgeous. I just like did not like when they grew really tall and they only had leaves that kind of looked like that. I swear there was a 5th one. That's when you know it's bad. When you can't find the 5th one that you're bored of. Like you totally forgot about it. I swear there was a 5th one. Which one is it? I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. What are some plants that you're bored of? What are some plants that you're tired and sick of? Let me know in the comment section below. If you made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.